This is video 2 from Unit 10, Lesson 4. We're going to still be adding and subtracting rationals, this time when they do not have a common denominator. Okay, so we need to find the least common denominator. That's what LCD stands for. So that's just what we're going to practice here. Okay, so between 3x and 6x squared, I need what's common. So I need the bigger one because I have to make sure that each part is covered. So the LCD would be between 3 and 6 would be 6 because 3 can go into 6 and 6 can go into 6. And between x and x squared, it would be x squared because that covers both the x and the x squared. Okay? Over here, I have this x plus 1, and since there's a plus sign, I have these invisible parentheses, and then I have x. So for my LCD, I need to make sure both parts, this x is different than this x plus 1, because this x plus 1 is attached to this plus 1. So I need both pieces. So my least common denominator would be x times x plus 1. Okay, over here, I need to factor first, if I can. So x and x, and then I need to multiply to be -5 and add to be 4. So I have to use 1 and 5. I want to be positive 4 when I do my outer and inner, so I need positive 5 and -1. Okay. And then I have this x minus 1. Okay. So this x minus 1, since the whole thing is there, and this x minus 1 are the same, so I only need that one time. So having x minus 1 will cover both of those. But then I also need the x plus 5. Okay, so when we add fractions or subtract, we have to get a common denominator, so I'm going to have to multiply each fraction by what's missing from the least common denominator. Okay, so here I'm adding, and I don't have the exact same denominator, so my least common denominator, I need to have both covered, would be x squared, because the x squared will cover x. Okay, so 3 over x, this x needs to be x squared, so to multiply, I need to multiply by x. And to keep things equal, I have to multiply by 1, which means I'll multiply by x over x. Okay, and so x times 3 is 3x, and then x times x squared is x squared. Okay, I don't have to change anything here on the 5 because that already has x squared as the denominator. Okay, now I add. So add across the top. Keep your denominator the same. There's no factoring I can do out of the numerator. So this is done. Okay? And let's look at this one. So my least common denominator, I need both parts covered. So this x is attached to that plus 2, so that's different than this x. So I need x and x plus 2. Okay? So this first fraction here is missing an extra x. So I'm going to multiply by x over x. That means I need to distribute on the top. You can leave the bottom in factored form, meaning you don't have to multiply it. Okay? this fraction is missing, the x plus 2. Okay. So I have to be careful though and see that I'm subtracting here. It's actually like I'm adding a negative 4. So I need to distribute negative 4. So negative 4x minus 8 over my LCD. Okay, now I can add across the top. I see that I have like terms here, so I need to make sure I combine those. Okay. Then I would need to see if the top could factor. Okay. So I'm going to check 2x and 3x because that multiplies to give me 6x squared. And then I'll use 4 and 2. So 4 and 2 don't work, and neither does 2, 4, 2. Okay, so it's not 2x and 3x. And this one might not factor, which is fine. We'll just leave it as is if it doesn't. So now I need to try 6x and 1x. And that's not going to work either. So it doesn't factor. So we're done. Okay, so sometimes before you can tell what your least common denominator is, you're going to have to factor a denominator. Now, neither one of these two problems I could do that. I could factor. They were already factored or as simplified as possible. But here I see this denominator, x squared minus 9, that's difference of squares. So this is x plus 3, x minus 3 is how that factors. You do the square root of x squared, which is x, the square root of 9, which is 3, 1's plus 1's minus. So I'm just crossing that out, saying that I've rewritten it as x plus 3x minus 3. So then, my least common denominator is x plus 3, and that covers both x plus 3's, and then I need an x minus 3. Okay, so for this first one, it has both parts, so I don't have to multiply anything there. The second one is missing the x minus 3. Okay, so I have to distribute. That's 4x squared minus 12x over x plus 3, x minus 3. Add across the top. Keep your denominator the same. Combine like terms and write it in standard form. So we need to put the 4x squared first. And then 2 and negative 12x is negative 10x plus 5. And I think this one might actually factor. So I'll come up here. because then my outer would be 9x, the inner would be 1x. And it's a positive 5, so they either need to be both negative or both positive, but since I want a negative 10, I need both negative. So negative 9x and negative 1x gives me negative 10x. So even though it's factored, there was nothing that canceled, but we need to check anyway. So this is done. Okay, let's look at this one. As I can see, this second denominator here might factor, so I need to try that first. Okay, I need to multiply to be negative 12 and add to be positive 1. So I'm going to use 4 and 3, plus 4 minus 3. Okay, so it tells me that my LCD will be x plus 4. That covers both x plus 4 and x minus 3. So this first fraction is missing x minus 3. The second one has both. Alright, I gotta make sure I distribute my 3. So that's 3x minus 9 over x plus 4, x minus 3. It doesn't really matter the order. You could do x minus 3, then x plus 4. Minus, I'm going to go ahead and change that to plus, well, negative 2. So okay, add across 3x minus 9 minus 2. And then we will combine our like terms. That's 3x minus 11, which does not factor, over x plus 4 times x minus 3. And since the numerator doesn't factor, I know that this is done. Okay, so now you're ready to do Unit 10, Assignment 5.